So I already cut the thing for the mosquito, like the mosquito protection, and I want to show you that I'm always carrying plasters. This is dental floss. I recommend you to have dental floss because you can do a lot of stuff with this thing. It's this is duct tape, and they call it American tape in some other countries. So something exotic, unless you're from America, then you just call it tape. But my point is that this thing is very, very strong and very resistant. It's sturdy. So with this you can make a couple of traps that will be cool for fishing. Not big fish, but first of all, you could have one where you put the dental floss around the edges, like chuk 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 chuk. You put it all around, and then you can put some food here. As soon as the fish come, like you let them go around, you let them enter, they start eating, and then you close it. You can do the same with a stick. You can have this thing with a frame, for example. You can get one of the frames that is holding the tent together. You can use that stuff to use it as your stick. And as soon as you have to put there some food. Which type of food? You can see here that this grass will not have any worms, but if you go lower, next to those islands, well, next to any lower part where there is grass, you can find earthworms, and earthworms are very cool. What happens if you don't want to kill an earthworm, which would be my case? Like I don't enjoy harming any, because this is like if you don't need it, what's the point? So what I would do is a mussel. On the rocks you will have mussels in the Atlantic coast. Remember that now we are, well, in many coasts actually, but keep in mind that the rocks usually have those animals that have a shell, and those animals can be eaten by fish. So if you break one with a rock, they don't have like a nervous system, so they won't be suffering. You won't be you won't be causing them suffering or anything. So you break one of those with a rock, you put the thing here in the middle of the stuff, and then you pull as soon as the fish is there. Keep in mind that you will need at least, like the last time I went fishing, it took me like 35 minutes, because this is not the Caribbean Sea. Not as many fish here, and they are somehow not such a big size, but still, like in the Caribbean you would probably get like 1, 2, 3, like you wouldn't need a lot of time, but here you would need 30. So don't lose hope, don't get discouraged if you don't fish anything in a long time. It's like a long time, 35 minutes, 40 minutes. But if you're hungry, you don't really care about waiting for a bit more time. So I was checking now some wood here. This wood would be awesome for starting a fire. Dry wood like this, it just burns like very, very quickly. Again, it's forbidden in this area of the country, but in a life or death situation, or if you can escape the authorities, or if you can do it so that you don't need to, for example, let's imagine that we go to that island over there. Let's imagine that we take the boat, we go to that island, we hide ourselves very quickly. No policeman is ever going to cross there. They're not going to call the helicopter. You are beyond the scope of the law. Like nobody will be. So if you want to camp in a place where you can't, that's not a private property, that's public property. So the only problem is, like, will I get caught? Because at a certain point the law is a bit unfair. The law is like, hey, why can't I enjoy nature? It's like, why? You have to go to a camping and pay some money. It's like, yeah, but that's not like, I don't want to be a client. I want to be a person who enjoys the place where he lives or the place that he is visiting. But that's how things are nowadays. And besides complaining, you can also find like, oh, okay, so you would fine me if I do it. Yeah, of course, the law will be there too. It's like, yeah, okay. So if I cross with my inflatable boat to those islands and I go camping there, you actually couldn't. No. Besides, my shift ends at 9, and I don't have any boats or desire to. It's like, yeah, okay. So I could camp there and move at 8 o'clock in the morning, 7:30, and everything would be okay. Keep in mind that on the second island, you would have a structure. You cannot see from here, but you have some structure where, I don't know, they were salting fish, drying fish. They were doing something with fish there, and it's not. It's protected from the wind. So let's now make some resistance test. And the resistance test that I want, besides the rain, by the way, it has been raining already for some time, and the tent is totally dry. But let's imagine, for example, that you are scratching the tent against something, such as a rock. Sorry about the hand. So, as you can see, it's not the strongest material, but it can resist. It can withstand some impact and some scratching and some stuff. What happens with a knife? It's still able to resist a bit. Yeah, it's okay. So it's okay. I broke it. And before I noticed that this tent is 15 years, and when I was putting the thing where you put the stick, like the stick has a metal part that can also break this thing. So duct tape or American tape, and that would be okay. But the point is that it's actually kind of, see, I need to actually work a lot to break. And the floor also, I want to show you that the floor is even tougher. So this thing, it's not, you're not going to throw rocks at any tent, but here, even when I try, I managed. Okay, so I literally have to stab the tent in order to break it. And don't suffer for this tent, because I had it for a long time. We had a lot of adventures, and I wanted to change. I need space at home, so it was okay to show it to you, so that you can see that besides the wind, like the rain wouldn't be a problem, the wind might be a problem, especially in this area and with this type of weather. But remember, structure around. What type of structure could you make? Imagine, for example, like, oh wait, what type of structure? What is this nonsense you're telling me, boy? It's like, okay, you join these two things together, okay? So this would already make the tent sturdier. But from this thing, if you put a stick here, like, imagine if you had the tent like this, with a stick, one stick here, another stick on the other side, and you wrap that part with plastic. Careful not to cover the entrance. So you stop the plastic here. You use this thing to put the plastic there, and that would be like, that would double or triple the resistance, the wind resistance of the tent. And I went to the worst possible place. It's raining. And still, you could probably sleep there. You could have some earplugs, for example. I don't recommend to have ones that work too well. You just need to reduce 50% of the noise. You don't want to be deaf in the middle of the forest. But I guess with earplugs everything would be okay. To remove the tent, very easy. You just have to, well, if I did it properly, see, it has this type of stick, and inside there is this elastic string, so it's actually very easy to open and to store. Well, to store, it takes space and weight, so it's kind of heavy for a tent. But other than that, it's kind of like a good tent, unless for the weight. So you can see that it has the 4 things there. You're supposed to put the metal ones that join it to the floor. Yeah, you know how it goes. And besides that, not much to add to this tent. Jesus, the wind. So if you're thinking, am I wasting my money buying a cheap tent? No, you're not. Do I need to do anything so that, yeah, if you add the floor, the cover, and you find a place without the wind, and if it's not in the middle of a hurricane, everything would be much better. So, does the rain enter in the store and the thing? Like, no. As you can see, everything is dry here, everything is perfect. The only problem, the wind, the structure, you need to make it sturdier, and you could probably use foliage, for example. Any type of natural environment or foliage would help a lot. So, thanks for watching.